All right, good morning, everyone. The topic of today's seminar is sharing content with your students or anyone via Padlet. This session is going to be a little lighter weight than the ones that we've had over the last several weeks. The tool is more limited in scope, but a lot of fun and free. I'll mention that several times as we go along today. What we'll be seeing is free. Padlet is basically a website, a web-based tool. So I'm going to share my screen here. I'll be doing a lot of that today. And, oops, I was already there. Get to Padlet by just opening up a web browser. Doesn't matter which one. And we went to www.padlet.com. And if you have not already signed up, let's see if I can get to the, let me sign out here so that we can see the Padlet homepage. As you'll see it when you go in. That's it. You can sign up right here by clicking that and either entering an email address and a password, or just use your Google account. Maybe even easier. There it goes. You can sign up with Google, sign up with your Facebook account, or just enter an email address and a password and sign up. And I don't know if you have to check I'm beautiful or not. That's a new one. I've been a member of Padlet for a while. I don't remember that one. But why don't you, if you're at all interested, let me give you a moment to go ahead and sign yourself up.
Okay, so you want us to go onto a browser and sign up?
I would, if you wish, you can always
Yes.
it.
Okay.
But I would recommend that you will, in order to use Padlet, you will have to do that.
Okay, I am right now trying to enter just my email address, and I'm not getting any characters.
Do I have to leave the meeting to do this, because it won't let me open up anything?
Right, yeah, you'll get another window.
You have to minimize or exit full screen. If you full screen your Zoom, you may have to exit that. But otherwise, no, it should let you do it. Well, don't worry about it right now if your computer is giving you issues.
It's not letting me do it.
Applications will take things over. So the process of signing up for Padlet is less complicated than signing up for an email account online or whatever.
Okay.
Righty. Let me stop. So, sounds like some folks are still signing up. Let me give you another minute. It's not required that you do that to participate in the meeting, because we're going to make a Padlet, and I'm going to give you all access to it.
Do I go to create a Padlet or sign up?
Sign up.
Okay.
If you go to create a Padlet and you haven't signed up, it'll just take you to the sign up anyway. But
Okay.
it's going to insist that you give them your email address, one way or another.
So, Dave, it brings up add superpowers to your account. Upgrade for only $29 a year.
No.
You can skip that and go on to the
You can always do that later if you wish, and there are some advantages to doing that. and it is a pretty reasonable cost for $30 a year. But you don't have to do that in order to use Padlet. That is a dodge. Hey, they got to make money somehow, right? And if you really got into using this, it would probably be worth it.
Do you want us to just click on video?
I'm sorry?
Do you want us to just click on the video tab in Padlet?
Oh, no need to click on anything in Padlet.
Oh, no need to click. Okay.
Just make yourself an account.
Okay.
I'll show you the process of creating a Padlet, and then I'll let you try that. Okay, I'm going to back out I'm going to log back in myself. Once you've created an account in Padlet, you can just when you come to the Padlet homepage, you can just log in by clicking the login button in the upper right, as you see me doing. And you can log in, depending on how you set up your account, either with your email address and your password, or just log in through Google. I'm already logged into Google on this machine because I use Google for so much. So I just pick my Google account and bang. And I go to the dashboard, the Padlet dashboard. And this is where you can create a Padlet. Let's talk a little bit about what a Padlet is before we get started, so you have some framework to hang this on. Think of a Padlet as a big wall covered in cork. It's a big bulletin board. And you can put just about anything on that bulletin board. Anybody comes in and looks at that bulletin board can see what you put up there. Padlet is basically what's called a wall. Those of you who use Facebook regularly know about the Facebook wall. This is a different sort of wall in that you can just hang just about anything on it for people to see. Those people can be your students, your colleagues, your family, whatever. You can make, as far as I know, as many Padlets as you wish and use them for different purposes. We're just going to make one today. I'm going, let's see, going to make a new Padlet. If you look at the black bar at the top of the screen here that I'm showing you, there's a link to make a new Padlet up there. So I'm just going to click on that. And bing, I have a new Padlet. That was hard. A Padlet, again, is just a wall. Right now it's a blank wall. Nobody's put anything on it. Well, I'll start off by controlling the appearance of my Padlet. I can do that. Oh, and here's a new I can create a new Padlet from here too. But I'm going to go to the Padlet properties. That's the word I'm looking for. Properties icon, which is a little gear over here on the right. And get the video out of the way a little bit. First thing I can do is give this Padlet a title, a name by which it will be identified. Should be descriptive. This is, let's see, Padlet for seminar, what is today, 3/25/16. You call it anything you want, obviously. The description, optional Padlet for Flex seminar. And I'll just blow this one away when I'm done so it doesn't count against me. You can also add searchable tags so that people want to, if you decide to make this Padlet public and you want your students to be able to find it by searching for it, you can do that. Okay, that's about it. I don't think there's anything else I do. Oh, and you can pick a little image to associate with the Padlet. Everybody's so into emojis these days. Just pick one of those. The next thing we might do is pick our wallpaper. It gives you a default kind of a speckled gray wallpaper, but you can click on the wallpaper and pick anything you like. You don't want something that's going to be too distracting. Oh, what the heck. Let's use the world map, signifying that anything you put up on this wall can be viewed by, if you allow it, can be viewed by anyone in the world. That's pretty powerful. Just like, let me close the door here. We're getting a little cross traffic. Pretty cool. Then you can pick your layout. And Becca, I think this may have something to do with the question you asked earlier. Is were you not having students post things on your Padlet and they were getting kind of jumbled up?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the default layout for the Padlet is free form. People can put things anywhere. And they'll be just displayed wherever they drop them. But you can also set the Padlet up as a stream so that all the posts are the width of the screen, the width of the wall, and they're stacked one on top of another.
You know.
Or you can go to a grid where there'll be a grid. So at least they won't overlap one another. So those are your options. We're going to stick with freeform for now. That's the default. But you can organize things on your Padlet a little easier. And you can, yes, Becca.
The reasons that I can't figure out, it's like really little in my computer, even when I have it maximized, it's really little and I can't really see what stream shows in the picture. You don't have any way to make it bigger for us, do you? Or maybe it is bigger for everybody else.
Well, as you're seeing it here, it's filling the screen.
Is it full screen on your computer?
Well,
It's
yeah.
full screen on mine.
It is on mine. Okay, so there's something about my system.
Perhaps if you, let's see, you have a little bar across the top of the screen that with sharing controls, and there's an option there to fit this to your screen.
Yep, got it. Thank you. Fit to window.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay.
Does that help?
Yep.
Good. Cool. All right, there are some fairly important privacy options as well. Let's talk about those. By default, the new Padlet is set as hidden link. And it tells you there what that means. Anybody can see it, but you have to give them the link. I'll show you how to do that in the next box, but or in another box. But the Padlet can be viewed by anyone worldwide, but you have to give them the link, and it's not a link they can guess. So it's effectively hidden unless you tell someone how to get into it. And that is the default status. You can make it totally public, the one below, and anybody, not only can anyone view it, but they can search for it, they can find it through Google, they can go on to Padlet and search for it, and find it and view it. There would be circumstances where that would be appropriate, but more often than not in an educational situation, especially if like your students' pictures or something are up there, you probably want to keep it hidden. If it needs to be even more secure, you can protect it with a password so that only people to whom you give the link and the password can get in. So even if somebody got the link, they didn't get the password, they couldn't get in. Or you can make it private, and then only people you invite via email. This you might use for family photos or baby movies or something like that, if it were really personal information. But in an educational situation, it's highly unlikely you need to do that. So probably you're going to go with hidden or password protected, but you have all these options. There are some other stipulations as well. If content is added to the Padlet, only the person who added it and the owner of the Padlet can delete it or change it or whatever. So you're not going to have one student posting something to the Padlet and somebody else deleting it. So you have some control over what happens. You can also do what's called moderating posts. If you're not real sure, or if you have a bad experience with Padlet and somebody posts a naughty picture to it or something like that, the chances are no one will die from viewing it, but you really don't want to encourage that sort of behavior. So in a situation where you feel you need to, you can set the Padlet to be moderated. And you can designate, you as the owner of the Padlet are automatically a moderator. You can designate other users as moderators as well if you wish. And you can prevent things from appearing to the participant users on the Padlet until you okay them. You can see them, but they can't until you release them. So that gives you another layer of control. Probably not going to need it. Most people will behave. But if you do have a problem, you do have tools to control that. Kind of analogous to the discussion boards in Blackboard, where you have controls to shut off bad behavior if it arises, but generally it's best not to assume it's going to happen. Most people.
Dave, I've got a question about that then.
Absolutely, please.
Do you have to set all this before you do the Padlet, or what if bad behavior happens during the fact that it's already up and somebody starts doing weird stuff?
Well, then you can go in and change it. The default is hidden link and not moderated. And that will be set automatically when you create the Padlet.
But if somebody's already, I mean, if you've already made the Padlet and you've enabled anybody else to post to it, and somebody posts something not so appropriate, can you take it down?
Oh, sure. You can, as the moderator, you can always go in and delete something.
Okay, and does that mean you've already set it as moderated, or?
No, that just means you can delete it. Only you or the person who put it up there can delete it.
Okay, okay.
Just
Thanks.
naturally, yeah. Or by default, I should say. All right. I've not made any changes, so I'm not going to change that. You can set notifications. You can have Padlet send you an email once a day. If you have an active Padlet and you don't want to miss something, you can have Padlet send you one email a day. It will not send you an email every time somebody puts something on Padlet, but it will send you a digest email once a day telling you that new content has been added. You can make your Padlet URL, which you see, this is the one I just created, which is kind of a randomized thing. You can make it something more mnemonic, if you wish. Of course, that'll make it easier for someone to guess as well. So if you want people to be able to remember this a little more easily, you can replace that 3W1J4K1I yada, yada, yada with Sandra's Padlet or something like that. Up to you. And you can also copy a Padlet if you get a Padlet set up so that it's just the way you want it, and you want to use the same settings on another one, you can copy this one, and you have the option of copying it either with the content or without. So you can copy just the settings and start a new one. And of course, you can delete the Padlet at any time. I don't want to touch that button.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
So in this idea of copying, are you going to go over how to do that within Blackboard? Because that's a problem I ran into is when I tried to copy my classes over, the old Padlet came. And I ended up like deleting them completely and creating new ones.
Right. That's what would happen because we'll talk about embedding it into Blackboard.
Okay. All right. I'll ask it again then. Okay, thanks.
But here I'm just talking about copying the Padlet per se. Because people can access this without going through Blackboard if you prefer them to do so. Indeed, to share this Padlet with people, we have another icon over here in the control bar on the right. And please, folks, if at any point you can't see something I'm talking about, please let me know right away. Sometimes variations in screen resolution, or if people haven't set their options to fit the shared screen to its window, to your window in Zoom and so on, things can be off to the edge and not be seeable. Please, if you don't see something I'm talking about, don't stand on ceremony. Jump right in and let me know, and I'll fix it. And also, if you put something in the chat tool, I'm here by myself today, so I don't have someone watching the chat window for me, and I don't see the chat tool when I'm sharing my screen. So if you put something in the chat tool, I may not see it for a few minutes. So again, just pipe up and let me know. Don't stand on there. Okay, to share, we just click the little share. That's a universal share icon, a rectangle with a little arrow swooping out of it. And you can just share your Padlet in all sorts of ways, through Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn. I'm not sure what that one is. I should.
Tumblr. Tumblr.
Tumblr. That you are, yeah. You can also export it as just a picture, a PDF file, and so on. I'm not sure how you do Excel and CSV. Try that. You can allow people to subscribe to it by an RSS feed. You can email the link to them. You can print it out. But what you'll normally do is either provide the link to someone, which is down here at the bottom, or you can send them the embed. You can use the embed code, and we'll use that in a little bit with Blackboard. The Padlet URL is always available. It's right up here in the address line of the browser. And I'm going to paste that into the chat tool so that you all can access this as well. I have to see. I have to stop the screen share for a second to do that. Come back. Go to chat. Paste that.
Is there advertising on this? Is that how they pay for the service?
Well, as someone mentioned when they were signing up, there is a $30 a year paid account, which has more storage and a few more capabilities. That's one way they do it. There's advertisement on their website, but there's no advertisement. Nothing pops up on the Padlet that I've ever seen. It's not like where you can't avoid the ads. You have to go extreme lengths to do so.
Thank you.
Good question. And this is there it is. Notice that the link goes into the chat room as a clickable link. So if you'll go to the chat, if you mouse over the screen, you'll see the chat tool in the menu at the bottom. It's more or less in the middle of the menu. If you go to that, bring up the chat window, and click on the link I just posted, you'll go straight to this Padlet. And you'll be able to see it. And you can bring it up and down. There's certainly no great virtue in watching me, as long as you can hear me. So that'll take you into the Padlet. So let me share the Padlet and share my Padlet screen with you again. There we go. You should be seeing that now. So, well, that's a nice background, isn't it? We said, well, we can put stuff on there, but the question becomes, how do you do that? Well, I didn't have to leave a lot of time for that because putting content on a Padlet screen is unbelievably simple. Let's start out with and y'all can go ahead and add stuff to this screen too. I'm just going to throw this away when I'm done. So play with it. If you've gotten into it yourself, play with it, and things will pop up. But the first way to put something on the screen is just to double click the Padlet background anywhere, and you get a little Padlet post, and it says write something. First thing it asks you to do is give it a title. This is just a text post. And then below that, you can click just below that, and you can just start typing. Thought I wasn't going to be inclusive, didn't you? This has never been more true. Of course, it helps if you type. So there's
I'm running into trouble.
Getting them in there, yes.
So I'm on the screen and I typed hi, but my caps lock was on, so the H and the, well, you guys can see what it is. I can't seem to delete my own post here. Am I supposed to be able to?
You should be able to, yes. There should be a little trash can icon just above. If you mouse over the Padlet, a couple of little icons will appear. There, you found it. Let me mouse over mine now. That's a good question. Thanks, Becca. When you mouse over if it's your post or if you're the moderator, two little icons will come up. The little pencil icon allows you to edit the Padlet. And when you click off the Padlet, you'll go out of edit mode. Edit. You go out of edit mode. And then the little trash can allows you to delete.
Dave?
Cool. Yes, sir.
When I'm double clicking, all it is doing is toggling back and forth between a full screen.
Because you're seeing my broadcast screen.
Okay.
You would have to go to chat
All right.
and actually enter the Padlet.
Let me
Through
find
Padlet.
that. Let me do
So
that.
mouse over the screen and you should see a chat tool in the menu at the bottom of the page. Yeah, your
Okay.
videos.
So
Maybe
go
you'll
to
chat.
chat first.
And there's the link to the Padlet in the chat.
Okay, so I do click
Click
on
on that, and a new window will pop up, and it may pop up on the other screen for you.
that. Not active.
Huh.
Oh, okay. Now.
There you are. It just took
Okay.
a second.
They took that.
Okay, now you can do. Now that's the live Padlet as
That's right.
opposed to my broadcasting. It's a little hard to tell in a Zoom classroom like this sometimes whether it's real or Memorex. You know, is it the actual thing or is it what I'm broadcasting? But I see people just making little text posts all over the place. That's great.
So Dave, tell me again how I go from the Zoom chat to your chat, to the Padlet chat.
Well, there's no Padlet chat per se, but to go to the Padlet, you go to the chat tool in Zoom, and you bring it up, and you click on the link that I put in a post there, and that will bring up a new window, probably over top of the Zoom window, and you'll see the live display of the Padlet as opposed to the one that I'm broadcasting to. So that gets a little confusing. You know, which one are you looking at? Are you looking at the image I'm broadcasting, or are you looking at the live Padlet? Several of you have apparently found the live Padlet. That's good. And Padlet, oh, somebody found out a way to post a photo. Good. Excellent. Let's see. I got a chat. Can you post the link again and just join? Yeah, sure. I think I still got it on the clipboard. No. There it is. Okay, it's the last message in the chat string there. I'll save the chat while I'm thinking about it. Give everybody a chance to get in there. And get that out of the way for the moment. So that's pretty cool. There's, you can post little notes up there with no effort. Doesn't require clicking, any complicated syntax or finding a link in a menu or anything like that. You just double click on the Padlet background and give it a title and start typing. And it'll just keep expanding. You can put the Great American Novel on there if you wish. May not be the best possible venue for that, but it won't cut you off, to my knowledge. So that's useful, but not especially sexy. Probably the most commonly posted content on Padlet is a photo. And obviously, one of our librarian colleagues has figured out a way to do that. Sandra, is that your periodicals area?
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, yes, I thought so. Well, let's see how to post a picture. It may be even easier than you think, Sandra. I'm going to bring up my pictures folder. You do have to have the picture in a file, either online somewhere or on your computer. I'm going to go to my pictures folder here. I'm going to find the picture. And I presume I'm sharing this, so you're seeing my pictures folder.
Yep.
And here's a view of something that I spent several days looking at a couple of years ago on vacation. To post this picture onto the Padlet, I do this.
Drag and drop. Nice.
Drag and drop. And I can make it bigger by just expanding it, by just dragging or dragging the corner. And I can put it anywhere I want.
So would yours have a title and text? Because the way I did it, I double-clicked as if it were a text message, and then within that box, it gave you the option of audio, video, pictures, whatever.
Right. Well, if I mouse over it, if you look what I'm broadcasting right now, if I mouse over it, I get an edit button.
Okay.
If I click that, then this is a view. The English channel.
I see it has a spelling error.
Yeah, you can notice that, can't you?
Okay. How did you get a file up? How did you find a file? I didn't see any screen.
It was in my pictures folder on my computer.
And how do I get from
you would
this to that?
Bring up Windows Explorer. You can do that by just right-clicking on the Start button on Windows. On the Mac, you go to the Finder and find your pictures.
All right.
And go and bring up, if you right-click on the Start button on a Windows machine, it'll allow you to start File Explorer or Windows Explorer, depending on the version of Windows you're using.
All right, I'm going to be using a Mac.
You go to the Finder.
Okay.
And find the pictures in the Finder.
Okay.
And then when you find one, you just click either on the, if you have the images expanded, you just click on the image.
Yes.
Or otherwise, you just click on the file name.
So I don't have to go into iPhoto.
No.
Okay.
Awesome. I like the raccoon.
Oh.
Okay, so I click on the Finder.
Yeah, and then find a picture.
Okay, get the picture, and then double
Just
click
click on the file name and drag it over.
from there. Okay.
Drag and drop. Let's see, this is a view of the English Channel from Folkestone. Right across the channel from, come on. Don't know what's going on there. Windows 10 is going on. It's upset about something. I don't know. Oh, it's my mouse. Oh, it's this darn hub I'm using, I guess. There we go. So, that's all there is to posting a picture. Even your least technically inclined student, there is absolutely nothing to it.
They wouldn't necessarily know to drag it, though.
Well, you do have to tell them that. Though you'd be surprised, there are a lot of tools online that work like this now. And they might just try it automatically, but if not, you might have to provide a minimal amount of information about how to use the Padlet. Oh, there's a picture. Forgive me, I'm guessing she's probably not an educator.
She's a student.
Pardon?
She's a student.
A student. Wonderful. A Peking man, okay. I love it.
So now I've got the screen is open with Internet Explorer. It just popped up.
No idea. Let me check that real quick.
Great. Thank you. So it's good to be here.
Yeah. Web development, jeez. Okay, so we can right click, open Windows Explorer, go to pictures, it's backwards on. Pictures, there we go, some pictures.
So if in a single screen environment, this would be coming up over here
Over the top
sometimes.
of it.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. So now, all you've got to do is drag and drop. You bet.
Excuse me.
No problem. I can remember mine otherwise, and mine's sitting right next to the microphone. It'd be a mess.
Hello.
So that's all there is to posting a photo.
Oh, hi, David.
Yeah.
Maybe you had already left for LA.
Very common use of Padlet is to create a photo gallery in your online course. You can ask your students to just post their pictures. And any student who can't post a picture on Padlet probably need to rethink that admissions decision. It is so simple. It's unlikely to be a problem for anyone. In a situation like that, you do have to be a bit sensitive about students who are reluctant to put their pictures online. Some people have good reasons not to do that. Stalkers, ex-husbands, things like that. So it's a good idea to avoid that. Let me, pardon me just a second.
Dave, it looks like you've got a couple people in the chat that are having technology issues.
Okay, just a
They
second. Let me,
can't see your images.
got a little interfering sound here. I'm dealing with that first. Then we'll look at the chat. And thank you, Sandra, very much. Okay, I think we got that taken care of. Now let's look at chat. Let's see, in your Zoom screen, I can see the images, but not on the window where I have the Padlet open. Not sure what that might be. Yeah, you're generally better off not using Internet Explorer. Possibly can.
Is Chrome better?
Chrome or Firefox.
Or Firefox, okay.
Yeah. Internet Explorer is a disaster. Even Microsoft's walked away from it. The Windows 10 still has Windows or Internet Explorer in it, but it takes quite some looking to find it. They don't want you to use it. Not that the new Edge browser is a whole heck of a lot better. Still better off using Chrome or Firefox. Untouched by Microsoft hands. All right, let me share screen again.
Good.
Always a good idea to go back and look for a minute. Thank you very much for the heads up, Xander. All right. And of course, as we add stuff to the Padlet, note that it grows. You can just keep adding indefinitely. I've never seen one stop. So you just keep adding stuff to it, make stuff big or as small as we like. And you can always click on it and bring up a bigger view of it. You can even view the original version of something.
Dave, there was another question in the chat about posting from their cell phone without a mouse.
Right. Somebody's found the Padlet app. Good. You can post on the cell phone using a slightly different technique, and I'll show you that in a moment. Very good.
This seems to let me kind of move things around
Yes.
that I create. It doesn't let me move anything else around that like anybody else created.
That's correct.
Okay.
You can mess with your own stuff, but not anyone else.
Okay. And as a moderator, I could mess with everybody.
Exactly. I can move stuff around, but you see me doing that there, right? Yeah. No, and that's one of the reasons why you might want to set up a grid or a stream display, because then things are not going to overlap one another, at least under those circumstances.
Yeah.
So you can always as the moderator. Okay. Of course, we're scarcely limited to pictures. We can post most any kind of file simply by dragging and dropping it. You bring up Windows Explorer again here, or File Explorer. Windows 10, and I'll just go to Documents, and I'll try to find something non-embarrassing. And not confidential. I don't have much of that on here. And that might actually show up. Let's see. Well, let's just see what this is. PDF, no problem. Just drag it and drop it. If I can figure out where I put it. Where did that go? I've got my video window in the way. Stop the share here for a second and take myself out of. One of the things you want to do in Zoom from time to time is avoid going into a screen share before you go with Zoom in a full screen mode. That can cause a problem. Okay, let me go back to the screen share now. Okay. Not sure where that went. So I'll move some stuff around and make myself a little space there so I can see what's going on. Let's try that again. Here's a fairly simple Word document. All right. Quite sure what's happening there. I think my try another one. There we go. My window was in the way. There's a PDF document. Obviously, you can't really read that, but if you click on it, it will expand.
Yeah, it looked like you were dragging the documents on top of the photograph. And
I think I was, yeah, because I couldn't get around it.
Yeah.
So there's a PDF. Not much to look at, but and you can always view the original. If this Padlet display view is inconvenient, you can view the original. And that's the actual PDF in Acrobat Reader. It's just as ugly there. And you can just close that anytime. Go back to the Padlet. And you can close this view just by clicking off on the Padlet there. So practically any sort of document that you have on your computer can be saved or can be posted. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and set this one to grid so that I get a little space there and organize things a little bit. Now, one of the things that has always aggravated me about the current version of Blackboard is if you have a bunch of files that you want to post, you have to post them one at a time, right? You can only do build content file and do one file at a time. Used to be in Blackboard Vista, we could just select, if we had 10 PowerPoint presentations, we just select them all and just drop them into Blackboard Vista at one time. It would just put them all on a content page for us at one time rather than have to do it 10 times. Well, Padlet provides you with a way around that. If I, again, bring up my Windows Explorer and keep it small enough that it doesn't overlap anything. And go into my Documents folder. You all should be seeing me searching through my Documents folder. I can select multiple files. Boop. To do that.
I'm still just getting a straight ahead wall.
Because you're in Padlet rather than in Zoom.
Okay.
If you look down in your taskbar, you'll see the little Zoom camera icon, blue and white camera. if you click on that, you can bring the Zoom screen back up. Because I am, that looks close. Just a second.
Okay. So you want this little puppy?
Right. Click on that and then select Zoom that.
Okay, good.
And you see the chat.
So Zoom is different from Padlet. Padlet is like a tool that can be used with Zoom.
Right. Zoom is just the way that we're sending this information out. Padlet is the tool that's totally unrelated to Zoom.
To Zoom, okay.
Just something we're illustrating. Now, you see here, I managed to jump out of my I've got it displaying icons instead of a list here. Let me see, view, details, there we go. That's where I was. Windows 10's file manager is a little different from the ones that we're used to. So let me select those again, several of them. I just hold down on the PC, I hold down the control key to multiple select. I think it's the command key on the Mac. Just trying to select things here that are not confidential. Not that I think anything is. All right, we'll just pick those, and then I can drag them all over. And bang.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
All of them at once. There's, of course, it's gridded them out kind of randomly, but there they are across the top. So let's say you had 10 PowerPoint presentations you wanted to post, wanted to do it, and you didn't want to spend 15 or 20 minutes going file, upload, file, upload, file, upload, Blackboard, bang. And all you have to do to share this with your students, remember, is to give them this URL up here. This thing's almost like a mini LMS in itself. And if you want to bring up, like this PowerPoint presentation, you just click on it, it fetches the file, and bingo, there it is. And you can play it. And you can view the original. And that will allow you to download it and save it. Work with it. You know that if you put a PowerPoint presentation on Blackboard for the students to view it, they have to download it. So they have it. They have a copy of it if they choose to save it. Nothing you can do about that. And then I can just close the item. If I viewed the original, there'll be a big white X over in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. I can click on that and go back to the Padlet. And that was a mixture of file types, PDFs, PowerPoint presentations, Word documents. It doesn't care. It'll share anything.
Cool.
Is there a way, if I wanted to have all of my PowerPoints together in one group,
Yes.
is there a way I can, have them in a little cluster
Well,
or in a folder or a directory?
not a directory so much,
A folder.
but you can just, not a folder, but you can organize them on the screen.
Okay,
We've got a mess here because we've been uploading just all sorts of
right.
stuff.
But if
But I
I
could take out everything but a set of PowerPoints
Yep.
and just arrange them the way I wanted them to be arranged.
exactly.
Okay? There aren't content folders per se in
Oh.
Padlet.
Okay,
But you can make multiple Padlets.
yes.
You can make a Padlet for your PowerPoints.
Okay,
You can make a Padlet for a photo album. You can make a Padlet for Word documents, whatever. Or you can make a Padlet for Chapter 1 and another Padlet for Chapter 2, and so on. So those are your folders, per se, just different Padlets. As
exactly.
far as I know, you can make an unlimited number of Padlets. even with the free account.
Yeah.
Okay, good question. Anybody else? Questions about how to host content to Padlet through the computer? We're going to take a look at the Padlet app here in a minute. Okay,
Dave, can I ask a question?
please.
Okay, I asked it 3 times and then I realized that I was on mute and I was wondering why you weren't responding.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry about
You're
that.
being rude.
Anyway, I'm sorry I had to leave for a few minutes and so I missed a little bit, but basically it's my understanding that if you want to show stuff on Padlet, then you would have to have your documents or whatever also open on another screen, and then you would do drag and drop, right?
That is one way to put content on Padlet. We're about to look at another.
Oh, okay.
Let me get down here. I can create a post on Padlet as we did before by just double clicking on the Padlet. And let's see, video out of the way so I can find it. And then, here we go. It's up here. Just put it up in the upper left. When a Padlet gets really full, it can be a little hard to tell where things are coming in. All right. You have this little. You have the title where you can type. You have the little text area where you can write something, but there's also a group of icons below that. And it looks like they're separate icons. You need, if you want to post a video, you need to click there. If you want to post audio, you click there, or maybe something else, you click here. That's not the case. This is just one icon. Post anything, you click anywhere in that little bar of icons, and you get an option to add an attachment to your Padlet. That attachment can be a link, a hyperlink is of anything, a YouTube video, for instance. You can upload a file by choosing the file from your computer. Or if you have a webcam going, you can take a photo from the webcam. I'm going to spare you that, because it would take me, not you. But you can just take a photo right from your webcam. So if you want to send a picture of yourself to someone quickly, that's another way to do it. Say we wanted to do a link from the web. Well, we need a link first, so we go find one. Let's see, I need to get that out of the way. There we go. Go to YouTube. Sort of thing you might do. Well, looky there, under recommended is our last week's recording. Fine, I'll take that. Very well. Don't need to go through that recording. But I just need the share URL for that. Go down, click share, and there's the URL for that YouTube video. I'll just copy that to my clipboard. Right-click copy or Control-C, Command-C on a Mac. I'll go back to the Padlet, and I'll go to my little post that I've started. I'll click on the little attachment icon at the bottom, and I'll select link from web, and I'll just paste with a right-click paste, should do it, and submit it. That's what I wanted, okay? And there's a YouTube video. If I want to play it, I just click on it. He said, no, I'm done with it. Thank you. There we go. So I can play the video. Very well. That's pretty easy way to embed a video in something, isn't it?
That's excellent. That's excellent.
And if I want to view it in YouTube, I can just view the original very well. And now I can make it full screen, things like that. And then when I'm done, I just shut it off. Just close that tab in the browser and click off of it. I'm done.
I have a question, Dave.
Absolutely.
Because I've been playing with this, putting things in a grid on my own class while we've been going through class. And I find that after they're there, I can't rearrange them. Can you rearrange those on your screen?
I think so, yeah. Well, not if I've got the grid set. I think if I go to freeform, I can.
Yeah, with freeform you can.
Yeah, yeah. Now the grid, you have limited capability to move stuff around.
Yeah, because it didn't put my introductory post on the top. It just put it some random spot, and then I couldn't get it back.
That mine did the same thing. So you'll have to go back to freeform in order to move stuff around. Then you can regrid it.
Okay.
Good question. I hadn't noticed that myself. I haven't used grid mode much. I've mainly used the freeform mode. Just trying to keep things a little bit organized here today. Anybody else? Anybody else have a question there?
I do have a quick question. This is not really related to this, and please don't kill me for asking this, but are you guys completely off next week, or are you going to be?
Oh, we'll be here Monday through Thursday.
Oh, you will?
Yeah. We'll just be out Friday.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. All right, so we've gotten a pretty robust Padlet here. We did have a question earlier. Can you do this view this and operate it on mobile? Absolutely. There is a free Padlet app. I know there's an iPhone app. I think there's also an Android app. Let me show you that. I have to share things in a slightly different way here. I'm going to stop the screen share. And I'm going to find the Padlet app here on my phone, which is a mess, so forgive me while I look for it. There it is. Okay, and let's change and get a little zoom in there.
What are you using to view your iPhone?
I am using a document camera.
Okay.
Which is attached. I have a classroom set up here, set up for Zoom meetings like this, or Zoom classes. And I have linked my video studio into the Zoom webcam input. That's another day's. We've already done that seminar. That was last week's seminar. That was the one that's embedded on our Padlet here, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
That's something that we can certainly show you how to do, though the studio itself is, of course, something that you're probably not going to have at home, though I do know people who do have things like that. But Zoom is amazingly flexible, obviously. Okay, so that's not this Padlet, obviously. Let me go back and find my Padlets. When I first go into Padlet, there's my Padlet for today's seminar. Have to bring that one up. And of course, I'm limited as to how this can display here, so I just have to scroll through it. But there's the Padlet. You can certainly view it. Add a Padlet post. I can just tap, double tap. Okay. Find that new one. Don't know where it put it. Well, I tell you what, let me go to a Padlet that's a little less cluttered here. Go back to that, yeah, we use this one. And I just double tap, and there's my Padlet post. I can just tap on the title, type a title. I can tap on write something, do that, or I can tap on the attachment icon. And I could either, I'm a little bit more limited with the mobile app. I can either post a link from the web, just as I did the YouTube video, or I can upload it. I can upload from Dropbox, iCloud, OneDrive, Microsoft's OneDrive, so they're platform agnostic. Or, well, those are just the others. Those are the ones that are available right now from Padlet. Or you can upload something from your photo library on your phone. This is an iPhone, so that you could probably do more than on the Android. You could probably also upload files from the file manager. Again, I'm not certain. You can go look. I should have looked that up before today. I'm not certain there is an Android app, but if not, there certainly will be one. So you can upload stuff from lots of different places. Any files that you want to upload from your phone, you can just put on your Dropbox in advance. But that's, or you can take a photo with your camera and put that up. So you can do most everything on the phone or on a tablet, an iPad, or an Android tablet that you can do with the computer interface. And you can do all this and share stuff with your students by just sharing the Padlet URL with them. You don't have to be using Blackboard or anything else. So you can use it like your own little mini LMS and not have to mess with anything else. But, let me just check chat here real quick. The narration audio being posted, with a PowerPoint presentation posted in Padlet. If you had a narrated PowerPoint that was posted as a video to YouTube or some other hosting site, yes, you would certainly have the audio. If you had recorded audio into a PowerPoint file itself, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think so, because the person can just download the PowerPoint file and view it on their computer. So I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work that way, but I'm not sure. Good question. All right, finally here, the last thing I'm going to show you, because we're almost at the 11:30 hour, is how to embed all this in Blackboard.
Oh, that's the important thing.
Unbelievably simple to do. First thing we'll have to do is, I'm going to share my screen. Let me get away with that. All right. Back to the Padlet here. I'm going to go to the share icon in Padlet. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to get the embed code for the Padlet. That's this code in an iframe here. I'm just going to copy that, highlight that, and copy it to the clipboard.
Go to embed.
Control-C would do that, or right-click and copy, or a command-click and copy on the Mac. And now I'm going to go to Blackboard. I need to bring up a Blackboard window here. Log into the Blackboard real quick. And I'll pull up a sandbox course. Doesn't really matter what. There's one. one of my play courses. And you can put this in any content area on Blackboard. I just going to put it on the course homepage, but you can put it anywhere that you see these 4 buttons here: build content, assessments, tools, and partner content. So I'll just build content. In order to embed a Padlet, I'm going to need to create an item. Build content item. I give it a name, which can be as short or as long as I wish. I can add some text to the description if I wish, but I'm not going to bother in this case. And then I'll have to go into the HTML mode on the editor. If you don't see this button, the editor is probably compressed. Your menus are compressed, so just use the show more and less button here on the right to get your HTML box. Click on that, and then just paste that iframe code that you got from Padlet into the HTML code view box and update. You'll get a colored placeholder. But you won't be able to see the Padlet at this point. And then you'll just submit. And we'll scroll down, and there's the Padlet embedded in the Blackboard. And you can operate it from here. You can add stuff from here. It's live. Because what an iframe does is it embeds one web page in another. So this is a live window, live view of the Padlet. So it's not, you're not just viewing it, you can actually operate it.
After you click submit, how do you go back and open up what to see what you just copied?
I just scrolled down to it in the home page. I was on my home page.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
And it automatically went to the bottom of the home page.
To the bottom. Okay.
I can, of course, put it anywhere I want. I can move it up to the top
Got it.
where I want on the Blackboard content area. And then I can, like I say, you've got the fully functional Padlet. And you can just manage it from here, or you can manage it by going directly to Padlet. Your students can access it from here, or they can access it by going directly to Padlet if you give them the URL.
Mm-hmm.
Will you show again how you made it so you didn't have to scroll?
I'm sorry?
How you made it so you didn't have to scroll?
No, once a Padlet gets to a certain size, you're going to have to scroll.
Oh, I guess I misunderstood something from a while ago. That's all right.
Sorry about that. If you're viewing the Padlet not from within Blackboard, but from within Padlet, of course, you're going to have more space to work with.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still, once it gets big enough, you're still going to have to scroll. The more content you add, the more scrolling you're going to have to do.
But how did you just do that? You did that with one click somewhere.
Oh, I went from one tab in the browser to another.
Oh, okay. So you already had it open in Padlet.
I already had it open in Padlet.
Okay.
And now I go back to the, let me go back to Blackboard.
I thought maybe there was a way to click directly to Padlet through embedded in Blackboard.
No, you just move from one browser window to another.
Okay.
So now I'm back in Blackboard. I just going to a different browser tab. Now I'm scrolling the Blackboard screen. Here I'm scrolling the Padlet. When you start getting multiple scroll bars on the screen, it starts getting pretty.
Dave, you could probably put the URL to the Padlet on the Padlet, right?
Yeah, you could. That's a
great idea.
Then I guess when you're in Blackboard, you could click on the URL to go to the Padlet to open it up in a browser window. I guess. I don't know if that would be too circular. I don't know.
Well, I was going to say that the only problem with that is you might get into an infinite loop that way and never get out. Never
Or,
figure out
well,
where-
I guess you could probably put when you're still in the editing version of Blackboard and you're adding the content, so you add the URL for the Padlet above the Padlet. So it's in the same box, but it's not in the Padlet. Did I make sense? So you'd be editing your text box.
Right.
And right before you copy the embed code, you put the Padlet URL above it. So that way it's not part of the Padlet itself. Maybe that would be the better idea.
That you could.
Okay.
That's a good point, yes. Because you can add other things into this item other than the Padlet. We go to edit that. You can see where the Padlet is by the, and then you go down here, you get below it, and you can enter more content. So
yeah, that would probably work better.
Visual capabilities that you would in Blackboard. Here we are back. So it took some doing to actually take up an hour and a half. But you all pitched in and tried different things and had great questions, so we were actually able to really fill that time with useful information. I learned some things about Padlet I didn't know before. I hope you did too. And I hope you'll continue playing with it. Remember, it is free, and it's something you can use to really simplify your sharing of content with your students. This session has been recorded, and I will put that recording up on YouTube and send everyone an email with the link in it. But you can always find these workshop archives. Let me show you. We're done. I'll probably cut this part out of the recording. But just to show you where to find this without having to look for the email, let me pull up a browser window. And I'm not sharing my screen, am I? Just occurred to me. I'm going to get away with that. Okay, just a browser window. And you can go to sdccd ol vid.org. That is our on-demand video site. You can also get to that from Blackboard by clicking on this tab that you probably don't think of much very often. Right to the right of the My Institution tab is a link to our online video site. And in the master menu at the top of the screen is a group of workshop archives. And those are there in order, in chronological order, the most recent first. This is last week's seminar on Introduction to Online Video Production. If you want to know how I was able to show you this all day, that's not actually hanging on the wall behind me. Here's what's on the wall behind me.
Screen.
Green screen. We could be anywhere in the world. I just picked that image because it was appropriate for today. But that could just as easily be the beach. That was my other choice this morning. That could also be a video. It could be a PowerPoint presentation. It could be anything. Because I'm feeding that background from another computer. I'm actually feeding it from something called an Intel Compute Stick, which is about the size of 3 thumb drives and plugs directly into a monitor or a projector. And that's covered in some of our previous seminars as well. So there's lots of ancillary information in those videos as well as the topic. And I've tried to break most of them up into pieces so that if you're interested in one specific aspect of the seminar and not others, you can go and just view that part of the video. because those videos are in the neighborhood of 3 hours long in total. And I'll try to do the same thing with this one.
Great.
All righty. Any other final questions? Go too far over today. All right. I hope you all will continue attending. We'll be offering these. Obviously, we're not going to be offering one during spring break. That would be tile. But we are going to have, our next one is a week from, well, 2 weeks from today, and we'll cover captioning of online video, something that we all have to do. This recording will be captioned, roughly at least, just by putting it on YouTube. There, I've given away part of the secret of the next seminar. But that's not always convenient, so there are other ways. We'll be doing that in 2 weeks. And remember, these archives will always be available to you. So now where to find them. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and a terrific spring break. Most of you all will get next week off. But remember, Katie and I, I see people got a couple of frowny faces out there who apparently are not. Oh. You have to do that again, Greg. Let's see. Let me get you on camera here. Okay.
That was what happened.
Greg was giving a bit of a frowny face there a moment ago.
A lot of us who are adjuncts who also teach over at Grossmont.
Oh, yeah, right. Their spring break doesn't coincide.
They
Of course
refuse.
not.
We've been working on that for years. They refuse to coordinate with all these other districts.
Okay, so I wish you a great spring break whenever it occurs, if it occurs.
Yeah.
And take care. Hope to see you again online.
Great. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Let's see. I've got something in chat. Thank you. Thank you very much. And have a great one.
Good.